I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. It's tax day, with many Americans trying to file those last-minute IRS returns before the midnight deadline. Members of Congress, like 2016 GOP candidate Marco Rubio, are using today to renew their push for tax reform, while others are calling for a closer look at IRS spending. Here with their political take is political strategist Brad Blakeman and Joe Lestingi. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Brad, let me ask you first. New calls for tax reform. Will it happen?
I think it'll happen, but it will not happen under a Barack Obama presidency. I think we'll have to wait for a Republican to be in the White House in 2017. But we're going to use this time in order to lay out before the American people what the Republicans would do if they can take the White House.
All right. And, Joe, I mean, is this the annual gripe at tax time, or is this really serious calls for tax reform? Will that happen?
Lauren, thank you so much for actually putting it that way, because that's the truth. I mean, everyone, it's theater day. Happy National Functioning Government Day today. It's not tax day. This is the day in which we actually get to fund our government. I love the roads I drive on. I love the public schools my kids are going to go to. I love having a national defense, all of which is paid for by our taxes. Every year we go through the same thing. I think Orrin Hatch is standing on his podium once again, going off on this. But the truth is that the IRS is hurting, and that's a big problem long term for our country. They've lost $1.2 billion since the Republicans have taken control of Congress. And the fact is that they only have less than 1% of their employees under the age of 25. A majority of their employment is over 50. These are very systemic problems that Congress is going to have to address soon.
All right, Brad, Joe's bringing up Orrin Hatch, who's saying, the IRS spending is out of control. Is it?
You bet it is. I mean, Orrin Hatch sat back and listed for the commissioner all the abuses in spending within his own agency on furniture, on travel, on exercise equipment. The IRS should be treating every dollar with the respect that they accord the taxpayers with. And look, the taxpayers, if they gave the phony excuses that the IRS gives, they'd be liable for penalties and interest and possibly even jail time. The IRS it cries a good game, and they have a sob story before Congress. The fact is they're not doing what they should be doing with the money they're given.
All right, but Joe, what about this spending? Because we're talking about $8,000 on an exercise cycle, $4 million for office furniture, $3 million on public opinion polling. Out of control spending, or things that the IRS actually needs?
So I'm going to be the poor guy that has to defend the poor IRS today, right? And the great comedian John Oliver summed this up great on his show this week, where he said being mad at the IRS is like being mad at the checkout lady because the price of eggs went up. The tax code and all that is all set by Congress. Now, when it comes to furniture, they actually stated that they were getting smaller furniture so maybe more people could work in less space, thus reducing overhead for buildings. I mean, these are things that every company does. Based on Brad's statements, the only way IRS employees could work is in a cubicle with fluorescent lighting and nothing else on the walls, which if your office was like that, it would be horrible. These people actually do have an important job to do. They have to live and work in a real environment.
Okay, Brad, you answer that question, because that makes somewhat more sense, because the IRS is saying that actually saved them money by buying that furniture. So you answer to that.
When you're $18 trillion in debt and the IRS is facing such bad PR with the overreach and the criminal activity within their agency geared at taxpayers just for being politically involved, they not only have a PR problem and a perception problem, they have a reality problem. And they're not spending the money judiciously as they should. And they're not being as responsible to the taxpayers as they expect the taxpayers to be to them.
All right. Well, we're going to have to hold it here. Actually, we can continue this conversation in about 1 year. And I think
that sounds great, because I know we will.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks so much, Brad and Joe. Check out foxnews.com for more on the IRS. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.